Hi everyone, welcome to this stream. What we're going to have a look at here is the LocalGov Drupal distribution. We're working on refactoring the front end of it, the theme that's currently there, as in the base theme that's currently there. It has a lot of assumptions built into it, and we're trying to build it in such a way that not as many assumptions will be built into it. So I'm trying to build a kind of a what we call it a scalable front end, one that can be used by any council, hopefully across the world, not just UK councils. So I've been working a bit over the last day or two on the header section. So this is what you currently get when you log or when you open a LocalGov Drupal website with the base theme. So what I've been working on looks like this. So it's not too dissimilar. I'm trying to make it fairly close to it without without having to have the overhead, I guess, of what's currently there. So at the moment we've got this logo block or branding block. Then we got a menu here, and then we got a button here for your services. And when you click on that, then it opens up this region here, and this shows us the services that are available for that council. You can actually see that in action, say on something like the Croydon council website. So if you click on services button here, it pops down. You can see you get this council services here. So that's what we're mimicking here. It's just we don't have a set services menu, so it's empty. What I've done in my version is I've put the services button beside the menu on the left hand side, and I'll show why in a moment. So when you click on that, then the services section, the block I put in here just to make sure something works was the page title block. Again, I don't have a services menu in it yet. And then we've got the normal main menu here. And then if we make the screen small, we get the menu, a menu button here, which will pop down to shows the main menu here. And then the services, again, will load below that. We can close up the main menu if we wanted. So these work actually independently of each other. So let's have a look at maybe some of the code behind this. So what we've got is we've got a theme called LocalGov_base. There were a few things I had to kind of work around and change around with this. So one of them is we've got a header.html.twig file, which looks like it's going to be a region, like region-header.html.twig, but it's not. So we still have our region.html.twig file. What the header is just a variable inside page.html.twig. So what we say is here, if has header, we can probably remove this has header because we're actually going to need to have this on every page anyway. There's going to be something in the header, whether it's the search or the menu or the logo or whatever. So what we're doing is just we're including the header.html.twig file, which just makes this file here a bit tidier. And that's actually something that's currently in the LocalGov base theme. That's their theme called LocalGov theme. So if you look at templates and system, page.html.twig, this has a header block, and it includes the header in that. Now, what's in this header.html.twig file is lots and lots of classes here that are coming from Bootstrap, and some Font Awesome ones here. Now, I don't want our team to have a reliance on Bootstrap, and I don't even want to have a reliance on Font Awesome at a base level if we can help that. So the sub teams can do that, or if this Font Awesome is only going to add in an X or a hamburger icon or something like that for a menu, well, we can probably do that, just with CSS ourselves. So what we render then in the current header.html.twig is that it's got a region called page.search, and then it's got a region called page.primaryMenu, and then we've got this if there's a secondary menu, and that's the services links we saw a moment ago. So if there is a secondary menu, the secondary menu gets rendered here after the primary menus. So this took me a bit of time actually to figure out what was where. And then there's a mobile search. So if and I'm not sure exactly why we got a mobile search and we've got a search. I would expect to use the same for both. And after all that, then we do a second search then to see if there's a primary menu, and if there is, then we add in a toggle, a header toggle. I think this is it here. Switch then gives us the button that does the toggling, I think it is. We've got a button here, I know, for this shows all of this section. Oh yeah, because I think it shows the primary and the secondary all in one go. Now a few issues that kind of come up with this, and I've actually ended up going with following a similar approach myself. But I think we could have done this maybe slightly better from the outset. But it'll be I don't want to break, a lot of anyone who's using distribution, I don't want to break their website. So I'm kind of following along with this process here. But some things that I've removed. One is I've removed this skip to main content because that's just built into the theme anyway. So that's not needed here. That's automatically available from the html.twig file. So if we look at this page here in a private browser, we hit tab, the first thing we get to is skip to main content, and we click on that pops us up. Now the main content is down here, but there's just not enough space under it, or not enough content under it for it to actually need to go all the way to the top. Where is it? We probably don't even need to look for it, do we? This is content top here. Yeah, there's a main. Yeah, there's this container, then we've got the main, and here. So we'll duplicate a few of these. Now we should be able to see now if we click on the link for the main content. There we go, and we've got a small little thing that allows us to scroll down, and scroll down is switched off then if the media query for prefers reduced motion is turned on. So that's one thing that's removed from ours, and we can see that here in header.html.twig. You can see we don't have any of that main skip link in this. So let's see some other issues that I had and how we solved them. So if we look here at we've got on, let's say, the block layout, we've got a site branding block inside our header region, but if you look at the header file here, page.header is never printed. So we don't actually have a header region, even though we have a block, we can put blocks into it. So what I've done is I'm printing header here. So if we have a header, print page.header. Now this has header, that's not something available in Drupal. So that's a check we do in the page.html.twig file. So near the top of this, I search for all the different things. This, see, has content top, has sidebar first. So that's where those if statements will get called from. So if there's something in the header region, then print the header region, and that allows us then to, in my version, place the site branding block inside the header region, and then it will get rendered. In the current setup, what we're doing is we're creating a variable in the localgov_team.theme file, and we're printing that here for logo, path, and site name. And I don't see why we need to duplicate all this function here when Drupal gives it to us out of the box. So it means that code there can be removed, but it also means then that logo, path, that this variable here isn't needed, and this one here isn't needed, and this one here isn't needed. So we get to remove those bits of code here. All this font awesome stuff we'll see will get removed later. What else have we got then? So we've then got, now one issue I have with this is that all we're printing here is a site branding block. I would expect in the header that this is where we put the main menu and the search and all the different things we want, so we can, whatever is in the header goes into it. At the moment, we've actually got a region called primary menu, another one called secondary menu, and another one called mobile search, and another one called search, I think it's called, wherever that is. Oh yeah, we've got we in our current team we've got page.search printed here, but we don't have page.search actually available on the, oh we do, it's here, sorry, okay, I thought we didn't have that. So yeah, so we got search done as well, search and mobile search, and these are all inside a container called header. So I've had to kind of do the same then, so as that, and actually it does give us greater flexibility, or not greater control, we'll say, over the layout rather than flexibility. So it will mean most councils are going to end up with the same structure of logo, then the menu and the headery type things, and then the search on the right hand side. We've also got a BG primary here, which is that's fine because our primary color could be any color. I don't have that. What I've done instead is we've got a header with a class of LGD header, and then in our CSS we have components header. Where did I put that? LGD header. Here it is here. So I said that the background color for LGD header is just a color section background, and this will allow us then on subthemes change color section background variable to red or green or yellow or blue or whatever it is. The same as here, we would have changed primary to red or green or yellow or blue. For an accessibility item, what I've done is the LocalGov header. Well, let's maybe look at the header file here first. So we're checking if there's a header, then we print the header, which is going to print our branding block for us. After that, then we're going to do a search for if there's a primary menu region has anything in it, or the search region, or the secondary menu region has anything in them. If they do, then I've got this little toggles section here, which creates buttons for us. So that creates, let's maybe look at this when we're logged out. That creates these buttons here, so the services button and the menu button. So if there's anything in these regions, those buttons get created. So if there's a secondary menu, we'll get this button to toggle the secondary menu section. The icon here and here, they're just they're variables in CSS now based on the LGD header toggle icon class rather than font awesome, and then you could easily swap in the font awesome item if we wanted. And then we check if there's anything in the primary menu or the search region. We render the menu toggle, and then again we check if there's anything here in the primary or search region. We then render the primary menu and the search region, and if there's anything in the secondary menu, we render the secondary menu region. And these are all fairly simple class for ourselves. Then LGD header nav, it's available here and here, and then it's got a modifier for whether it's primary or whether it's secondary. And the same then with the buttons for the toggles. These all have a class of LGD header toggle, and then they've got a there and there, but then they've also got a secondary and a primary modifier, just in case in the future we want to change them, or if a subtheme wants to have different colors for primary and different colors for secondary. Now, because we're showing, or because we're hiding things, so let's say when we load this page initially on a small screen, we can't see or on any screen we can't see the services area, and on a small screen we can't see the menu area. Because they're being hidden with CSS, it means that if JavaScript doesn't load, you click on this, you're not going to see what's down here under them, because there's no JavaScript to fire the toggle. So what I've done is at the top of this file, I've put in a NoScript tag here, and inside this I've said that the LocalGov header nav will be displayed if there's no JS, and then the LocalGov toggles will not be displayed if there's no JavaScript. So if we come over here and if we remove JavaScript, disable JavaScript, the page will reload, and you can see now we don't have the toggle buttons up here, but we do have the menu, and we do have the secondary menu section. So that's kind of, for whatever reason people don't have JavaScript turned on. Oh no, my alarm's going off. I have to go collect my kids in school. I forgot that. So let's see, where are we? They're okay for another couple of minutes. Yeah, I think that's kind of it really. So if we look then at the, so we've got then these this button here, the services, on the right hand side, whereas on the current website using the current theme, it's on the, in mine it's on the left hand side, and on this one here it's on the right hand side. That's purely because I just wanted to have the order of HTML to match the order of where you see things on the screen. I think it's better for screen readers like that. So then if we make the screen smaller, they're still here when you click on these, then the content is under them, rather than, I didn't want to use something like Flexbox and order and reorder, that there to be a different hierarchy on the screen. So I'm happy with this approach so far. So the things we can look at that are kind of nice, I think, are we've got this header.css file, which is CSS that will be available for all browsers. And then I've got a header.i11 fallbacks.css, which is anywhere if I'm using a CSS variable in this, for example, here the LocalGov Drupal header, the background color is var color section background. Well, that won't be read in IE11. So what I've done here is I've created a header.i11 fallback CSS file and set the background color to be this color here, the purple, and the padding. Actually, I'm going to put these both to 1 rem because I changed the value for this padding top and padding bottom to be 1 rem, or the section vertical padding to be 1 rem earlier today. So this is an approach I'm taking for IE11 support, and what it means that then if a subteam needs to support IE11, they can duplicate these IE11 files and make whatever amendments they want themselves to put the background color to red or whatever color they need to do. And I think that's an easy way for us to support IE11, given that we only need to support that, I think, or hopefully for a short term until Drupal stops support next June. One other way I was actually looking at supporting IE11 was inside each of the files, I was putting my IE11 fallbacks at the top of the file and then putting the modern browser section after that. But I think this separate file makes more sense, and it's probably easier than to just delete this when we get to the point of not wanting that anymore. Let me think, is there anything else around this? I think that's probably about it. Yeah, the colors have changed a bit. As you can see, when we hover here, we're getting white with black underline. That's following the underlines thickness and things like that. That's following the Gov UK design system. So if we tab to it, there's slightly different color for when you're tabbed to it. But on our current theme, when you hover, you get green with a very light white, or white with a very light green, and it's very hard to read. There's no way that's going to be passing WCAG 2.0 for color contrast for accessibility. And the same when you tab to it. So this will be tabbing now rather than hovering. Oh, another phone call. So again, the accessibility of this section just isn't up to scratch for us, and the same with the services link. So I'm trying to make them stand out more and be easier for us to follow. So that's that. Other section we've got here is the breadcrumb section. So if I click on register a birth, I think, yeah. So we can see the breadcrumbs here, and we've got this little what do you call this, double chevron thingy as a breadcrumb divider. So if we look at the breadcrumbs CSS file, again in IE11, I've said that before, if we've got a breadcrumb with a breadcrumb beside it, the before pseudo element of that will have those double arrows. But on modern browsers, I've said that it will have a variable called breadcrumbs divider. So if you ever want to override that, just override breadcrumbs divider as a variable in your subtheme. That's it. I'm going to leave that at that. I may answer the phone and go collect my kids and things, and I will chat to you all soon. If you have any questions about this or any comments about this or any criticisms of this, we do have a GitHub, LocalGov Drupal base. So you can file issues here, and there's a specific issue for the front end refactor of the header. So I'm going to start adding a few more notes to this, and I'll upload this video to YouTube, and then I'll pop a link to this video in here so people can kind of follow along with the thought process. I'm just going to check if there's any questions on Twitch. There's not. I don't even have any viewers. I'm just talking to myself. Okay, everyone. Thank you and goodbye.